Hopefully we can get both of our heads on here. Let me at least get my eyes in the picture.
Why don't you just sit?
Come on. There you go. We're even. Come over this way a little bit, though. Okay. So, camera's up here. This is a first in a series of video diaries that we're going to make. We'll make them monthly in regards to everything, but most specifically medical condition with the seizures and stuff. Because she had 3 drop seizures this morning before getting out of bed. She had 2 yesterday, 1 in the living room, 1 in the bedroom. And we're getting her a helmet soon, but it's a motorcycle helmet. We might need to get some other kind of helmet. How would you say the seizure issue has progressed throughout your life and then after we were together?
It started when I was like really young. I know the seizures started when I was like 4 because of like a TBI that I had. When I was really little, they were bad. But my parents really never did anything about it. And then they kind of got better for a while. And then when I was in the group home, I mean, granted, I guess I thought I was having more seizures than I was. Maybe I just didn't say anything because like they wouldn't do anything in the group home anyway. But it was just look at me and pray for me and think that that was going to help it. And so I guess like I stopped telling them if I was having seizures because there wasn't really anything that was being done anyway. And then came out here and they've gotten worse definitely, but I don't think it's because of like stress or anything like that because obviously like I don't really have like a very stressful life anymore other than the fact that I have like a medical problem that's causing issues. But in terms of like things that are like everything's good in life, you know, we live out in the country in a really small town and we're able to do whatever we want when we want and like everything's really well like put together. We're always together all the time. So I'm not quite sure why they're getting like worse. That's why I'm hoping that a neurologist can tell me.
That appointment's, what, 7 days away or something? March 31st?
Yeah, March 31st.
Okay, so she's got an appointment. Well, you've got an appointment.
Okay.
March 31st in DFW area and another neurologist we have lined up. What date is that?
The other neurologist is May 6th, and the EEG for that is April 21st.
Okay, so making a lot of medical appointments.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's got to be done. Were they looking into getting things taken care of in this way in the group home?
No.
What did they do in the group home?
Prayed for me.
They didn't take you to, I mean, you saw a neurologist there, but...
I saw a neurologist when I was in the group home, but they had malpractice because I told them what I needed. Told them I needed medicine because at that time, I did start taking some meds and it helped. It's just some meds, I guess, didn't like work as well and I was allergic to others. So it's like, they kind of like started to, and then they just stopped because they were like, oh, she's not taking antipsychotics anymore. She's taking anti-seizure meds, which they didn't want me taking anti-seizure meds because they have me diagnosed with PNES right now, with psychogenic non-epileptic seizures. So seizures aren't coming from electrical brain activity. They're coming from like a psychological standpoint, I guess. So they want to continue to put me on psych meds, but even though like anti-epilepsy medicine worked, they were like, no, she has to be on psych medicine. And then they told me, there's no medicine that'll be able to help you. You have to go through therapy to help this.
And you went through a lot of therapy, didn't you?
Yeah, I went through therapy called EMDR. It stands for eye movement desensitization reprocessing. And basically, like, they have like a screen or they have a pen, and you follow it with your eyes like back and forth, and it's supposed to represent when you're in REM sleep. Because then it subconsciously brings up memories that you have forgotten about, and a lot of times it works for people with like PTSD and stuff like that, and it helped for a while for me. But EMDR is not meant to do long term. It's meant to do like as a series of like a couple months, and I was doing EMDR every day for about 10 and a half years. So it didn't really help. It honestly just kind of made things worse.
So would you want to try some other kinds of therapy, or do you think it might be helpful?
I mean, like, at this point, I'm really willing to try anything, but I'm very opposed to therapy just because I've been in it my entire life. And I mean, it's not really going to do anything, not that I know of. But again, I'm not a doctor.
Well, it's like, it doesn't make sense to me that seizures, which are viewed as being a physical thing, can come from a psychological, place. But if they do, then maybe psychological therapy can help with that. I don't know anything about it, but I think it's worth thinking about as long as it's not harmful, Like you're saying, what you did before was harmful. But, well, what did you think of your local doctor here? I know how much you loved her.
She wasn't.
Don't. Be nice.
I think she just saw me as like a drug addict because
Yeah.
they have like a system that is called the Epic system. And all doctors that are through the Epic system can see any patient that has been in through the Epic system. And unfortunately, I went to that doctor and they had my medical records from up in Dallas. And all my records basically say all my psychiatric history. And so she was like, at first she was like trying to help. She was like, okay, here's a medicine that might help. I was allergic to it, so we went back. She was like, okay, try Effexor. Now I haven't tried it, but I've heard from multiple sources that it's horrible. It's very bad medicine, and you shouldn't take it if you can help it. And then she.
With these drop seizures, though, maybe it's okay to try the Effexor for a little bit before your neurology appointment, just to see if it helps at all. What do you think?
I mean, like anything's like I'm willing. Like I said, I'm willing to try anything. I'm just very nervous too because like I've seen very very bad things happen with Effexor. Like people like breaking down like mentally, having like mental breakdowns. I mean, even Roger, he said that it's a bad medicine.
Yeah, he did.
So, but like, I'm willing to try it, but like...
Your appointment, I got my calendar right here. Today is March, 22nd?
Yeah.
Your appointment's the 31st, so we got just a little over a week before you see a neurologist. What if we try it for a couple days and see if all of a sudden the drop seizures might stop or lessen, and like we can at least be like, yeah, the Effexor seems to be working a little bit, or...
I'm just nervous because like what happened with the amygdala last time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that to happen again, nor do I want, like, anything, like...
But you're with me. I'm watching you closely. And just like with the Lamictal that was causing you to try to hit yourself, took you off it immediately. It's not up to the doctor. You are your
Yeah, but then I
doctor.
started arguing, like, really bad for, like, the next couple of days. I really don't want to do that again. Like, I don't...
Well, that's what I'm afraid of, is we end up in a situation where we can stop your seizures, but it destroys the relationship because you're a horrible person to me, but we have to try. Okay? So it seems to me smart at a low dose to try the Effexor for a couple of days and see if it has any effect. And then when we go to the neurologist, you might be say, yeah, it seemed to have a little bit of an effect. What else can we do? But ultimately, our goal is to get what's called the vagus nerve stimulator, or some other variant of it, which will stimulate the vagus nerve and stop the seizures. I truly believe that's going to bring a great amount of control. Whether it'll stop the drop seizures, I don't know. But if I'm there and I see you're going into absent seizure and I know you're going to have more seizures, You know, what is it? There's a magnetic card that you like swipe it and boom, right?
Yeah, I guess some of them have like a magnetic card. Some of them just shock you like before it happens because you sense it.
I read one of them, it just shocks you intermittently.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, 10 minutes or something. I don't know how it works, but because your seizures can be interrupted if you're sufficiently stimulated, which I do. You know, if you're having a seizure, I'll pinch you, seizure stops most of the time. If that works, then the vagus nerve stimulator I would think would work. And so I think our number one priority is to get you on the vagus nerve stimulator. And that's the number one thing we're going to talk to these neurologists about, because if you can do that and not be on, you know, some medication that causes people to kill themselves and their children, that would be ideal. But in the meantime, because the seizures are getting so bad now, maybe we should try some of that. It's your choice. But I'm not opposed to it because it's getting so bad. What are your thoughts?
I mean, like I said, I'm willing to try anything. It's just nervous to try.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want my whole life, you know, going back to the way it was. And granted, I was on a lot of psych meds, you know, back then. Even like now that I'm off all of them, that one medicine that I'm taking is going to be significantly more side effect-ish. That makes sense.
Well, I mean, I don't know much about these medications, how they work or anything, and honestly, I don't think the doctors do either. It's
And the Effexor isn't even a seizure med; it's a panic attack medicine.
Well, if your seizures are happening due to some underlying panic, we were at Olive Garden last night. As soon as we got out, was it as soon as we got out or when we were still there?
I think I got in the car.
Yeah, as soon as we got in the car, you were having a seizure because I think the stress of being out in public or something. Which, remember, all the time we used to go to restaurants and you'd have problems. So that's kind of psychological. It's not, unless it's all a coincidence, but you know you get overwhelmed sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So if there's a medication that can calm your mind without drugging you into being a zombie, we got to do whatever it takes to bring the seizures to a halt. And that can be life and death one day. You know, you might drop in the wrong place at the wrong time. Hit your head the wrong way. Okay, I'm not telling you to take the Effexor. I'm saying I think maybe we could try it for a couple days before your neurology appointment and see how you do.
No, that's fine. I want to at least give it a try. I mean, we have it. Might as well, you know. Okay. But if there's any problem at all, I just want to take it off.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm just more concerned about like how am I gonna deal with the drop seizures? Is my question.
Well, I'm hoping. I mean, it's a foolish hope to have because it probably won't happen. But I'm hoping they go away with the Effexor. Maybe it's something to do with that. I don't know. I don't know how this stuff works.
But like the Effexor isn't gonna, you know, pop in my system the first day. It actually might because it's a strong drug.
No, but it's not gonna pop in the first day.
But what I'm saying is like, I already had 4 drop seizures in the bathroom.
Today?
Yeah. I was in the bathroom.
You had another one in the bathroom a couple minutes ago?
I was going to the bathroom and I got up and...
You probably shouldn't be standing on that cooler then.
Probably not, but...
I'll grab you if you start going down.
But my point being is like what it's... I don't even remember. I don't have my watch on me. I don't know what time it is, but... 8:59. So I got up, 30 minutes ago? Yeah, 30 minutes ago. And I already had 1 complete drop seizure. And I've been up since about 7:30. And I've had 3 since then. But luckily I was in bed. And that day, it got so bad to a point where I was just, in bed all day. And even then, I was just still having seizure after seizure. And even then, I was on medicine then.
Well, so that's another thing. When you were on all these medications that the group home and all that put you on, were your seizures less frequent and by how much?
I don't remember. I don't remember all the time, but I do know. once I came off the psych meds, that's when it got worse.
Well, that says something right there then.
Yeah, but I was on 17 different psych meds.
Yeah, I mean, it needed to be sorted out, but I mean, would you say, can you name any particular medication that might have helped you more than others?
Trying to think. I know the boost bar really helped with my anxiety, but that turned me into like complete like catatonic. Like I'd take it in the morning before I'd have to go to in the group home, and I'd be sitting there going like just staring at the wall.
Yeah.
I was like so messed up. And I was taking Keppra at that time too, so maybe it was a mix between the Keppra and the boost bar. I don't know. Like I said, I've been on so many psych meds, I don't even know which ones work and which ones don't.
You're on so many at a time, how can you, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's also address, you know, sometimes you have a seizure and then you don't have your memory back, sometimes for a prolonged period of time, sometimes you can't speak, sometimes for a long period of time, and then the other day for the first time, you lost your hearing.
Yeah.
In fact, we have the paper right here where we had to write back and forth because she couldn't hear anything I was saying after losing her hearing. These issues kind of scary, and you know, I worry that one day you wake up, you don't know where you are, you don't know who I am, you can't hear anything, you just freak out and run out the door, and I don't even know where you've gone, and that really scares me. What are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I don't like talking about that.
Okay. Because maybe there's no solution. You got your medical alert bracelet. Let's show that to the camera. She's got her medical alert bracelet, which is good, and that's got her address on it, right?
No, it's just got your phone number.
Might want to get another one with the address. You know, I always leave the ringer off.
You need to start leaving the ringer on.
Well, when you're missing, I'll turn the ringer on. No, but
I just don't like talking about that stuff because it's like it's a genuine like fear of mine. You know, like it's not like other people where they can just like not worry about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that's a very real concern, and it's kind of like at some points I feel like it's not an if, it's a when situation, but I'm hoping that it never comes to that point.
Well, fortunately, the car has child locks because there's been at least 4 or 5 times you've had a seizure in the car. A nice, comfortable seat, you know, you're safe and everything. And then after the seizure's over, you're grabbing for the door, trying to run. And I just think to myself, you know, what if it didn't have a child lock and you ran out in traffic or you ran out and got lost or something? That scared me. So I know you can't stop it from happening, but let's get the address on the bracelet, okay? I'll get you another one with the address. There are like an infinite number of things that can go wrong here if we don't stop the seizures. So I think that's our top priority. It's not just the seizures, is what I'm saying. Even one time, you couldn't talk, and your hands were frozen up, so you couldn't text. And it was almost like, okay, someone or something is trying to stop us from communicating, just like when the other day you couldn't hear. Like, why would that happen unless something was trying to stop us from communicating with each other, you know? I don't know, though. Obviously, we're going to try and deal with this, and we're making every day last week we have medical appointments. We're getting everything done we can, but we're not putting you on random drugs out of nowhere, you know? No one's controlling you. No one's profiting from drugging you. Is there anything that you think we should do that we're not, or anything you think we're doing wrong?
No, there's nothing like wrong. It's just kind of frustrating sometimes because it's like it's getting to the point where like I can't even be alone, you know? It's like you were still in my house this morning.
Yeah.
All I did was go to the bathroom. Like, I feel like a lot of my independence is starting to be taken away, and it's.
I wonder, because we went back and visited the group home yesterday, and you said that made you really uneasy.
Yeah.
Do you think being at the group home yesterday may have churned up some kind of feelings that might be causing you to have more problems today?
I can't say for sure, but I mean, it's always a possibility at this point.
It seems to come from a place that is subconscious. You're not even aware of where it's coming from or why it happens.
No, but.
Well, there's plenty of other things to talk about. We don't have to go on too long, but do you think that you're in a better place? Do you like where we're at?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, I couldn't be happier in the situation that I'm in, other than the fact that I'm just having seizures, which unfortunately is just something that I've kind of had to live with, and I'm kind of used to it. Just trying to figure out a solution is a bit of a bump in the road. But other than that, I enjoy living out in the middle of nowhere, basically, in a little country town, small town. And, we have a tennis court up the road and going to the gym and just being active. And, I couldn't ask for a better life, and I couldn't ask to be with a better person.
Well, I don't want you to keep having the seizures. When we played tennis the last 2 times, you kind of went into absent seizure mode while we were playing. So I walk you off the court and we go sit down for a little bit and you're okay. We're talking about playing tennis today, but you're having drop seizures and that court's not soft, So I don't know. We'll have to think about that, but everything's your decision,
Yeah. That's also, like, the thing that concerns me is, like, in terms of just, like, being alone, too, in general. You have to go sign papers this morning for the house that's up north.
Yeah.
Unless you're signing them here, but...
Well, you can come with me.
I don't know if I could or not, if that's something that I don't know.
Well, I don't know if it's actually better or safer to leave you here or bring you with me. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Like when I had the radiology appointment yesterday.
I had a seizure in the waiting room.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they were just... The nurse came up to me and she was like, "Are you good?" I was like, I couldn't even answer her. And they went to go get somebody. And as soon as they went to go get somebody, you came out and you're like, "Let's go." And that's when I was like, just give me the...
Oh, that's right. When I came out, you weren't doing well. That's right. They couldn't bring you in because of the whole radiation thing in the radiology room.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was going to be an issue. But fortunately, it was brief. And we got out of there.
Yeah, but...
Do you think it happened because you were nervous from being alone?
I mean... I don't usually have... Well, I've had problems in the past with being alone and stuff like that, but not so much anymore. I think it's just... I was in a hospital where I didn't really know anything. It was a VA hospital. So,
Yeah.
And I was looking at people very sick in front of me. They didn't even have the curtain closed, and I was just kind of like listening to everything around me. And
Right.
it was around that time anyway, so...
Well, and this is something I think we got to discuss because let's say hypothetically, instead of taking you to the appointment so that you were left alone in the hospital for a couple of minutes while I had my appointment, I left you here. Would that have been better?
Here?
Here at home.
Probably not.
Okay. So it's not good for me to leave you here at home for a prolonged period of time. If I take you to my medical appointment, you're left alone for a little bit. That didn't go well. Do you think you would be better off in a group home setting where you used to be? Just be honest.
Why would you ask that?
Because I want to know what's best for you.
Don't do that.
I have to.
Don't.
I have to know what's best for you. Okay? It's not because I want to get rid of you. It's because I want you to stop having seizures and I want to know what's best for you. Okay? Obviously, I don't want you in a group home.
Then why would you bring it back?
Well, were you having seizures like that in the group home?
No. But I was on several different psych meds.
Okay, so maybe the issue is not the group home, it's the medication. Can you think of any medications in particular that might have been most helpful? Okay.
Oh. I'd have to go back and see a psychiatrist.
All right, well, let's maybe try the Effexor. Maybe it'll help, maybe it won't. Either way, we'll know more on the 31st for your neurology appointment. And then we'll take it from there. But the number one thing is we're going to tell them we want the vagus nerve stimulator. Okay? I didn't mean to upset you. I need to know these things, okay? All right, is there anything else you want to put on this? Be like a monthly video diary we're doing here?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. I'll shut it off then.
Another head hangs slowly, child is slowly taken. And the violence causes silence. Who are we mistaken? But you see, it's not me, it's not my family. In your head, in your head, they are fighting with their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns. In your head, they are crying. In your head, in your head, zombie, zombie, zombie. What's in your head? In your head, zombie, another mother's breaking, heart is taken over. When the violence causes silence, we must be mistaken. It's the same old team since 1916. In your head,